What up, what up? We are in off-season mode. So today I want to talk about basically what to do during your off-season break, why you should take an off-season break, and also some other things that I'm doing on the side to help with my off-season training. Off-season. A lot of people think off-season is just base training, but I'm gonna be honest, the way I start my off season is I take time off the bike. My coach currently has me taking 2 weeks off the bike. It's just a way of resetting both mentally and physically. There's a lot of things that happen during that time. Your nervous system starts to get back into balance. You can focus on some other habits that you may have been neglecting while on the bike. Things such as just working on some foundational stuff, some movements, some stretches. One thing I like to do, and my coach actually has told me to do this every single day, is go out for walks, 1 hour every day. So I go out 1 hour every day. One thing I try to focus on, which I'm not doing it right now, but when I do these walks, I try to focus on strictly breathing through my nose only. Sometimes I'll go in through the nose, out through the mouth. That also helps to just kind of reset and calm down the nervous system. But I also just try to do straight nose breathing. So I'll just be like, which for me works out because I got a massive nose, so I can take a lot of air in. But that's one thing I like to do. Walks, this break time is really a time just to sometimes it's like reflect on the past, what you did this last year. It's also a time to reflect on what's coming up the road. So I got my off-season plan. I know what I'll be doing this off-season. There's a lot of work involved. One of the conversations we had during our meeting was a hard reality truth, and me sitting down for a week and thinking about it and going, am I willing to do the work that's laid out before us? And I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of work we're gonna do, but then there's a 1-3 week block in January that's gonna be pretty dang tough. For those reasons, I'm actually going to be going out and visiting home for a month in January so I can actually get through that block. But like I said, these walks are really good for just kind of rooting yourself down. Again, they're not anything crazy. Don't go out hiking and all that kind of stuff. I got some athletes that like to do that, and I'm like, no, just go walk. Just take it chill, walk. So when you walk, you just take it easy, focus on breathing. Doing some of this is good for your body. You get coordination back, because a lot of times when you're riding, you got balance and stuff, but anytime I'm off the bike, I'm like laying around. I'm not walking and doing stuff. So you just get like a lot of natural coordination back. Your nervous system starts to kick in and relax and figure out like, hey, we're not having to like fight or flight right now. We can just be and exist. And that's part of the reason for taking a 2-week break, is also just letting your nervous system relax from trying to make all these adaptations. Because if we're honest, as athletes, we say that we exercise a lot. In reality, we're not exercising. We are pushing for performance enhancements. Like, we are pushing our body to the limit in order to perform at the best we can. So because of that, getting out and just walking for an hour a day, that is actually exercise. So getting back to kind of the grassroots of what our bodies like to do, what they enjoy, get you back into a good, comfortable rhythm. So that's one thing I like to do. And then the 2 weeks off too, during that, not only nervous system, but hormones come back into balance, cortisol levels burn off, different things like that. Like stress is removed from the body, starts to offload, not the acute fatigue, but the long-term chronic fatigue starts to be offloaded from your system, which is essential with going into another off season and then holding peak performance through the whole entire season. So you need to offload all of that stuff. So that's one thing I'm doing with just taking a week completely off the bike, walking, working on my breathing, Something else I started doing is Charles Umont, that's how you say his last name. He's been doing the AeroFit thing, the mouth breathing thing. So I've actually started doing that once a day during this time of just being off the bike. Gonna really see how that benefits. One thing me and my coach Tim did talk about was, you know, he has this breathing exercise stuff to do not only off the bike but on the bike, because one of the biggest performance enhancers for sure is being able to increase your lung capacity. Means you push more oxygen to your muscles. So that's one way to improve VO2 max. That's one way to make sure you stay efficient on the bike. One way to work smarter, not harder. So there's a lot of breath things that I'm actually doing off the bike as well, along with some light stretching, some foam rolling here and there. Just kind of like, it's a time of doing maintenance on the body and letting it recover to where it was pre-season. Get things back in balance, get things strong again. But overall, that is what's going on right now with this off season. So let's just lay out like 3 things that you can do to help yourself during the off season or during your off season break to kind of get back into a good, I guess like a homeostasis in a way. So first thing, like I said, is going for walks. Every day during off season, when you take that break, just go out, easy, casual walk. You're not trying to like smash miles with your legs. You're not trying to walk fast and get that average speed up or anything like that. Like, you're just walking and enjoying the outdoors. Luckily where I live, it's pretty, so I get to enjoy that. But while walking, you want to do it for 1 hour. Try to go for 1 hour. I know at first you're like, oh, okay, that's easy. And then you're walking and you're like 30 minutes in, you're like, oh my gosh, I've been walking forever. And no, going to Disneyland and walking around doesn't really count, all right? Just going out, chill, walking for an hour. Second thing to work on during the off season, during your break especially, is breathing. So this is best done while you're walking. Just in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Because when we breathe through our nose, it actually expands our lungs to its max capacity. That's what happens with nose breathing. And then when you breathe out through your mouth, you're obviously just letting it all out, but you're also getting in a rhythm. The other thing you can do once you get comfortable with that is also just moving into in through your nose, out through your nose as well. Just working on like old school nose breathing. Because so many times when we're on the bike, we're pulling a Tony Martin and just going, just always suffering through our mouths. So that's something to think about. And then the third thing is just don't stress about anything. Don't stress about losing fitness while taking time off. Don't stress about, the workouts you're not getting in. Don't stress about losing KOMs on Strava. That's something that's happening right now. People like to start taking KOMs from me when I take time off, and I'm like, okay, kick me while I'm down. The other thing is, I do enjoy riding my bike. It's fall right now. It's beautiful weather, and I really want to be out on the bike. But I realize this time just needs to be a good shut down and relax. So those are all my tips for you for some things to do during your off-season break. Oh, fourth tip, take an off-season break. 2 weeks sounds like a long time. Just do it. Who cares? It's a good reset. Hormones come back into balance. Nervous system relaxes. All kinds of things. So take a 2-week break. Outside of that, I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to get back to my walking and my breathing. So see you guys in the next video.